Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Jennifer Burns. I'm the head of the Business Insight Center here at the Central Library. And today we're going to be learning about the Financial Empowerment Center. So without further ado, Latasha McGill, take it away.
Oh, good morning, or sorry, good afternoon, everyone. I am Latasha McGill, and I'm one of the counselors with the Rochester Financial Empowerment Center. And just 1 second. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make this easy and just pull up, share my screen so you can see my see our website, and we're going to just walk you through our website. I'm here with my colleague Juan Lozada.
Hi, how are you?
Juan, 1 second. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And so we are the Rochester Financial Empowerment Center. And so who we are 4 counselors, including we have a manager, Mina, 4 counselors. And what we do is we focus on financial empowerment for our clients. Clients will come to us, and then we provide free one-on-one financial counseling. We cover the 4 pillars of our program is savings, banking, debt, and credit. So these are the key topics that we focus on with our clients. And so clients may come to us looking to open a bank account. So, and then we'll advise clients on what to look for and what to look for, and in terms of banking access, affordability, and different banking products. Now, we don't promote any particular bank, just how to safely manage your a savings account or a checking account, and how to protect your identity and be careful with when you're using banking services. We also focus on savings. And so clients may come to us and say, okay, yeah, I just want to, tips on budgeting and budgeting tips or tips on savings. And so we provide we provide counseling in that area as well. What we'll do, we'll go through each of the topics, and then in greater detail, Juan and I, and then just really unpack what we do with each of the pillars of our program. And another area we focus on is debt management, debt reduction, how to manage debt, the best way to get out of debt, what to look for if you're going to acquire some debt in terms of purchasing a home, purchasing a car, or if you're in student loan debt, the best way to how to manage student loan debt, and also credit. Credit is another pillar of our program when we focus on improving credit, or if you have no credit. And but what we're going to do, we're going to break about the 2 pillars, and then I will cover banking and debt, and Juan will talk about savings and credit. And so, Juan, do you want to start with savings?
Sure, Latasha.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. So, my name is Juan Lozada. I am one of the 2 bilingual counselors at Rochester Financial Empowerment Center. Um, and when we speak of savings, it's something that uh, a lot of times um, we're not taught to do. And even in school they don't really talk to us about that. I remember as a kid, my grandmother and my mother taking me very early uh, to the bank and opening up a bank account for me, and it was a savings account. It was none of that checking or whatever stuff. It was just a plain old savings account. And that's where I first encountered what savings was and the importance of it. Nowadays, it is so key, for example, to have um, to work in your budget a savings, a portion of your money to go to savings, so that um, God forbid, like what's happened to a lot of our clients during this pandemic, they've lost their jobs. Uh, a lot of companies closing because there's no production, there's no money coming in, so they close. You're out of a job, restaurants, and so on and so forth. And having a savings, an emergency savings fund, which we recommend at least, if it's possible, 1 month of wages. So you have that money there. Something like this happens, you have a month where you can work with those savings and be able to pay your expenses, and also uh, how do you call it? And then look for a job, so you don't have to the worry of, oh, now my expenses are are piling up, all my debts, all my bills. So that's one thing that savings is good for. If you're thinking of going into a first time home buyer program, there's always a requirement that you have a minimum of $1,500 for closing costs. So you go like, where am I going to get that? Okay, so that's what savings does. It helps you to be prepared for those situations. Um, and it also saves when you have a savings account. A lot of times you might want to purchase something and you have the money available. So now you don't have to finance it and pay interest. And usually, if you buy from one of the big stores, you're going to have a 25 plus interest rate. And that really, why should I be paying that if I have the money? Pay it off right away, and I don't have to pay that extra interest to this lender or to this provider. So that's one of the really, really important things about savings and how it opens up. We talk about that. It's part of the counseling flow, part of the counseling session that we do on a daily basis. Am I right, Latasha? Do you think
Yeah.
more or less that covers it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And
and
also you can
go
talk
ahead.
if you can cover, say, access, just even checking, just making it easier for clients to pay their bills, and the convenience of paying their bills with, if they decide to use online banking, or just, and they're saving on fees in terms of money orders um and processing fees if they have an affordable checking account as well.
Right. I can give an example of my own experience, because I started getting into credit cards and I started getting into trouble. So, like a lot of us have that same situation. So, because of that, when I got here to Rochester, I said, wait a minute, I got to refocus and go back to the basics that I was taught by my mother, my grandmother, my father. So I got here and I opened up a bank account, and pretty quickly after opening up the account, I was putting money away in savings, and I saw the benefit because I had one time that I didn't calculate that I didn't have enough money to pay a certain bill, and I still put it through. It was an online payment, and I overdrafted. But thankfully, when the person at the bank opened up the account for me, they said, why don't we link it so that if there are any um, if you overdraft, your savings can kick in and cover any of that. And that really helped, and I saw the benefit of that. um, Recently, I saw the benefit of having like a secondary savings in another institution. So I have my regular banking where I use my debit card and all that, and I opened up a secondary account, but I'm just using that for savings. So it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, and it's really awesome because after a year I looked at it and I said, oh, I have that much money in savings already. That is great, so whereas if I would have been able to tap into that money, it might not be there anymore. So those are little tricks and things that we do. It avoids fees. What we really strive, and Latasha is going to speak about that a little bit further on, about safe and affordable banking, how to find a banking institution that can give us savings without charging us, and so we don't have those fees and what the benefits of that are. But I'll let her talk about that. Um, what do you think, Latasha? Is there something I might have missed?
Nope, you got it. You covered it in terms of
Okay.
savings and just that added protection and just making sure that we just don't forget about, saving for emergencies and also saving for the future.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And when you think of credit, which is another of the things of the pillars that we really look at, is um, a lot of the clients that come through our doors or over the phone, because we can't see them face to face. So want to get a home. I want to get, I want to get out of this lease, but the lease is up is in a month or two. And when we look at their score, unfortunately, it's very, very low. So therefore, it does take time to build up credit that has been affected. But there are clients that have good credit and they can, we can um, give them the best advice. So we do a very comprehensive overview of the finances of each one of our clients. We the counseling flow really covers everything so that we can make informed decisions. Well, the client can make informed decisions with the best advice that we can give. And that's what we really strive to do. Because right now, for a first time, like go back to first time home buying, which is a big thing, especially now during, spring is coming up and people are thinking more about it. Their leases are coming up, so they want to move into a house before the lease is done. Um, for a first-time home buyer loan, you need it used to be 620. You need a minimum of 640 as a credit score and no collection accounts on that credit report, so that when the banking institution um, puts the application for the mortgage, you're ready to go. And also, if you're on a first-time home buyer, you can get the grants. So these are things that are very important about credit. Credit is key. And especially in our society, American society, it is very, very important, so what do you think about that in credit, Latasha? What would you say?
Yeah, credit is key because it's only credit. You're correct. Credit is key to making purchases that if you don't have the money to purchase something outright, and if you're going to use like a home or a car, if you're going to use credit to try your best to have your premium credit scores because it'll save you in terms of interest. And so you're not paying more for your product in the long run. So you have touched on that in terms of credit. And
And
so,
what do you mean? That's very interesting what you were saying about premium credit. So that means that if I have a 600 credit score and you have a 700 and score, you're gonna get a better interest rate than I do?
exactly. So if you open up a credit card, if you're able to qualify it at 600, it's going to be a very expensive interest rate. And
Oh,
then 700, if you have stronger chances of qualifying for products with a 700 credit score, because you are officially in the good credit category, you'll have a
mhm,
lot lower interest rate. And so
right.
when you purchase something, and if you carry a balance on a credit card for over a few months, you're not paying as much in credit in I'm sorry, in interest as you would. So the higher the credit score, the better you'll qualify for better interest rates.
Would that mean I would have a higher payment? What do you think? If
Um,
I get a higher interest rate?
you higher interest rate, higher payment. Mhm,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. So I just want to explain that I can't come here and say that I have perfect credit. I
Hmm.
have to be truthful with my clients, and I tell all my clients that before I started in this line of work, I had affected credit, and I've been working on it.
Hmm.
And I've been working on it. But I had a situation when I first started. I had a voluntary surrender, which the bank, instead of reporting it as a voluntary surrender, which they reported as a repo. So it seemed like they took the car away from me, and I actually gave it back because I couldn't make the payments and they didn't have any options.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Because of
guys.
that, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. There's a request. Can you walk us through a typical counseling session? What happens in an appointment?
Would you want to do that, or would I do it,
Sure,
Latasha?
sure. So
Go ahead.
what would you, so a typical appointment, what session is you would reach out to us. You can call us and I can actually, we'll add, this is our phone number right here. It's 252-7110. And you can call us or you can email us and then to schedule an appointment. And so if you, when you call us, you'll get someone from our client support team, and then they'll ask you for your information as far as name, address, basic information, and they can schedule you an appointment with one of the four counselors. Or if you send us an email or you send us a request via email at rochesterfec@cccsofrochester.org, one of us will give you a call back, and then we will schedule an appointment with you when we give you a call back. But what to expect when you come to us initially, we'll talk about what brings you to us. What is your concerns? What do you hope to accomplish during our session? The initial session is 1 hour. We set aside 1 hour of time to get to know our clients and just to build a strong baseline. We ask a question about, we'll talk a little bit about COVID-19 and how, and if you were impacted by COVID-19, we'll give you what's called, we'll go through what's called a financial health assessment. We'll just ask a series of questions, which is a tool that we have to get to know our clients better. We will talk about income, your income sources, not just wages, but whatever your income sources are. We also will go through expenses, and we'll also talk about savings and itemized savings. And then if you would like to pull credit, we also have what's called the client authorization form that you would complete. That's before the appointment. And then we would pull a credit report from Experian. And this credit report we pull, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't create an inquiry on your report. And then we will review your credit line by line and give you advice and tips on how to improve your credit or to address any concerns that you may have with your credit, whether improve credit, address any debts or collection items, or advice on how to dispute anything on your credit if you have those types of questions. And then what we also do is we create a service plan. So say if you have whether your goals are short-term, mid-term, or long-term, we'll create what's called a service plan to basically capture your goals and create a plan on the steps that we would be working together, what you need to do and what we would do what we are available to do to help you reach your financial goals. Now, we don't tell clients what their financial goals are. Clients tell us what their financial goals are, and then we customize a plan to help clients get to meet their financial goals.
Okay. And one thing also, in a counseling session, at the end of the counseling session, so we're pulling a credit report, we're doing we're creating a budget for each client. Um, and then we kind of prepare like a service plan, which is suggestions for the client on how to better their savings, budgeting, and all that stuff. And do we leave it at that? No, we actually send you a copy of the credit report we pulled. It won't have your score on it, because Experian doesn't permit that, but it will have line by line what we've spoken about, so you can see. So if there's a creditor you need to contact, it'll have the number there, and you can contact them and get that specific collection, if it's a collection, resolved. We also send a copy of the budget, which is important because if you're doing a first-time home buyer program, you need to show financial capability. Am I right, Latasha?
Yeah, you have to show
Right.
affordability, that you can afford what you're
Yeah.
trying to purchase.
Yeah. And so that's another important document that we send you. And then the service plan, which will have an overview of our conversation with some tips that we are suggesting for you to reach those goals. And each client in this looks at each thing and then works with each item as they address the more important, or the things that they really came to look at, and their goals. And so it's customized to each client, and they can use it as they um, meet each challenge, and go over the hurdles, sort of say.
And one more thing I just want to add is that these sessions, again, they're free. You can have as many sessions as you would like. You can have as few sessions as you would like, based upon what your needs. It's not we don't have a end date. It's not like you can have sessions for 6 months. You can have sessions with us for years to come, every month if you would like, every couple of months. And then so in our follow-up sessions, they're not all an hour. I mean, they're at least 30 minutes for a follow-up session. And so some
Hmm.
clients may say, okay, let's talk again. And, I think I need to talk to you again in another 2 weeks. So we'll meet in 2 weeks. And some clients may say, okay, we'll talk again in 3 to 6 months. It's completely up to them. So it's not a one time only session. They're one-on-one sessions, and they are ongoing, and they're continuous sessions for as long as clients feel like they need to be working with us. Even if you leave us, we have clients that may work with us once and then don't talk to us again for like another 6 to 8 months. That's perfectly fine. It's based upon what the client need. It's the client decides, what's best for them in terms of continuing sessions with us. Does that
Right.
answer the question? Did anyone have, I know we were talking a lot. Did anyone have any additional questions?
I also wanted to add that, for example, I've had clients that at first they come and their interest is to build their credit and maybe create some savings. And then as we go along, then they tweak their budget. And then we don't talk for a couple of months. All of a
Hmm.
sudden they come back and they say, I want to start my own business. Okay, now
Yeah.
we got a session. We can help. We can give you provide the resources for you to be successful in owning your own business. Or, oh, I've been, I'm coming to up to that age, or I'm still young, but I'm still concerned about retirement. So how do you build up retirement? We talk about those things too.
And also, let me just jump in on that. When you goals change, and so some clients may come in not just wanting to start a bank account. Maybe deep down inside they really want to work on buying a house or buying a car, but haven't mentioned that. But then once they become more confident in their finances, maybe they will verbalize those goals, and then we can add to your goals and extend your and expand your service plan based upon what your goals are now, your new goals. So goals change. And another thing Juan just talked about that we also want to highlight is that resources. It's more than just a counseling session. It's more than just advice about income, expenses, credit, and budget. We also have partnerships, and we collaborate with other organizations. And so if we need to refer clients out, or even just provide clients with additional information on what services are available to them, then so we also have that connection where we have a strong partner. We have a big partnership, so we can get clients connected to different resources to help them move past barriers within their finances. Their budget might be just fine. Maybe their utilities is in the way. Then we'll recommend, have you apply for HEAP. They go to apply for HEAP. Now they've moved past that barrier within their finances with utilities. And so that's a big piece of our program, as well as getting clients connected to resources to help them move past any barriers within their finances.
Any questions?
So I just want to we're just gonna just want to, I know Juan, we talked about savings, and Juan, you unpacked credit, and then again I just want to touch on access to safe and affordable banking. And so that is a big piece for us, as well as just letting clients know that there is, if you had a bank account before and you no longer have a bank account, maybe you have a check systems. We also work with the reentry population. Maybe clients haven't been in society for whatever reason for a few years, and now they want to get back into society and get back into getting maybe they're starting a new job, and they want access to safe and affordable banking. We have a list of what we call bank on clients to help client that offer second chance banking. And so, that way clients can access banking they can afford and that is convenient for them as well. And then we also just stress pay down debt. Okay. And so paying down the debt, I know we talked a lot about managing debt, but also paying it down if debt becomes overwhelming or becomes too much. We provide tips, and even we also may provide that may suggest that clients consider getting on a debt management plan with consumer credit counseling to decrease and eliminate their debt, depending on, again, what their needs. We provide the suggestion, but it is up to the client to make that choice on what is actually best for them, and then we are there with the clients to talk through the options.
And
Okay.
yeah, and for our viewers, if you have any specific concerns, worries about finances, let us know what they are, and maybe we can highlight if our services are best fit for your current financial concerns in that. So don't be afraid of asking us the questions, and that's what we're here for. We're here to clarify our services, to clarify how best this financial counseling program might help you.
Exactly.
Hi, I have a question, if I can.
Of course.
Hi, my name is Mina, and my apologies, my video is off because I'm not feeling well. But so right now there's a rent moratorium. So those of us who cannot pay rents, we are not being charged, and there's a little bit of relief. But my concern is that when all of this ends, and if I have like some back pay rents due and it's all piling up, so I'm really worried about that. Can you say if there's any resources available, or what do you do with something like that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Mina. Yes, so we, like Latasha was saying, we're partnered with many agencies here in Rochester, and we're constantly receiving updates on who has the resources, the grant money to be able to help people with rent assistance, and we will steer them in that direction so that they can, make the call, make the connection, and be able to alleviate that. And then as we go on, that's what the budget is so important. Creating a good budget is so important because then we can look at what is coming in and see what's going out and kind of tweak. Because sometimes um, we do a budget, and this has been my experience. So the client tells us, oh, I spend in this and that and the other thing, and I'm asking questions, and at the end I ask them, is there anything else do you think that you know we need to put in this budget? And they might say no. So I send them a blank budget sheet, one that's been created by the Federal Trade Commission, and I say, write down anything that's not on this budget, write it down, and then we can compare it. And a lot of them go like, you know what? I've been spending $120 a month on that coffee, that great coffee at Starbucks, or that the Dunkin' Donuts coffee with the donut and things like that. So we don't calculate that as an expense. And then people realize it, they start to tweak their budget, and now they have more money left over at the end of the month, which is called cash flow. Money that is every month. One of the questions that in the financial health assessment, and correct me if that's not true, Latasha, it says, do do you have money left over at the end of the month? Am I correct? And then people a lot of times say never. Okay, so now after doing the budget and tweaking it, now that never has become uh, often. Now I have money left over often. And now what are you going to do with that money? Oh, I can put it in savings. I can, I can use it maybe to pay down this debt faster, things like that. Would you have something to add to that, Latasha, maybe?
Oh, actually, one perfect. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Did anyone have any questions? Well, just wanted to again recap that there are 4 counselors, and Juan, Stacy, Karen, and myself, Latasha. And if you would like an appointment, you can always just give us a call, or this is our website. You can go into our, send us an email, or you can send us a message right here on our website and press submit, and one of us will get the message and give you a call. And then, or you can just give us a call at this number. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And more, I wanted to
Here
detail
we all
a
are.
lot. Oh, there we go. Oh,
There
there you
we
go.
go.
Yeah. Yep. You got to eliminate the ugly guy in the corner.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, so I was going to say that a lot of times we get referrals from the partners. So
Mhm.
one thing that referring back to what Mina asked, um, when people go for rent assistance, a lot of the agencies suggest that you do a financial counseling session because maybe they're seeing within the information that you're giving them and the reason why you're behind on your rent, that maybe there needs to be a little bit of assistance in creating a budget. And that's why people are sent to us. And then sometimes they don't understand that. And then as they go through the counseling session, they go like, oh, wow, I didn't know I was spending that much there. I didn't, um, just normal things. Like it's funny to me how sometimes I'm like, for example, I'm counseling Latasha and all of a sudden I ask, okay, how about personal care and grooming? So that means like hair, nails, lashes. And the people go like, oh my God. so
That's a lot
so
to ask.
because then it doesn't hit you until they really ask you that specific detail. You said, wow, I'm spending like 150, 200, 300 a month in that. So how can I tweak it a little bit to make it more effective and use that money for something else? um, any other questions?
Well, one, just want to talk about the partners. When you mentioned partners, who are our partners? That's what I brought this up.
Okay. In my case, you have partners like Ibero-American Action League, you have DHS, Department of Human Services, you have Rochester Housing Authority, the library, Rochester Greater Public Library, you know, there are partners. The CASH program, which is run by Empire Justice Center. Empire Justice Center, which is a free legal service, Law New York. There are many of the agencies, they really um, send us a lot of referrals. So when you're there, and if you have doubts still about our program, ask them, what their experience has been with our program, and they'll talk to you about it. Um, Anybody else has a question? I want to hear
Yes.
the clients. Thank you.
Do you have anything for veterans? Any services or partnership with the Veterans VA Association?
Well, not that I know of. I don't know if they're partnered. What do you think, Latasha? I
Nothing.
haven't seen them as a partnership, like for referrals and things.
Okay.
I have gotten referrals for veterans, but what do you think, Latasha?
We don't, like, as far as anything specific for veterans. We our clients are veterans, and we collaborate with agencies that service veterans to offer financial counseling. But specifically just for veterans, we do not have something specific just for veterans. But
Okay.
but we do we ask that question, and we capture how many veterans that we are serving. And so if we find there is a specific need specifically for veterans, we do work towards meeting the needs as best as we can for
Yeah.
not just veterans, but any unique I won't say unique, but any population.
Or
All right.
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you. Understood.
Okay, you're welcome.
Any other questions?
Um, How about people who are senior citizens who are displaced due to hardships or divorce? Do you have any services for those people?
Okay. Since we're more a financial counseling agency, that's what we focus on. When we do the financial counseling session, if we see that the client is in that specific group, we will refer them to the agencies that can best serve them. That's what we
Okay.
try to do at all times, even though, we're not a crisis agency. So if somebody comes to us and says, oh, I need to pay my rent. Oh, well, we don't have money. We really can't help them there, but we can point them in the right direction where they're going to receive the funding they need to solve that crisis issue, and then keep working with them so long as they want to, on bettering their financial situation.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing the information in the chat box, and I really appreciate it. I'm capturing it.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
you're welcome.
Cool, thank you. Person in the center of the housing system with housing. Perfect. Awesome. Any other questions from our viewers? We find resources for them. We connect with what they do. Thank you. Can you please? Okay. So what do you think, Natasha?
Actually, if there's no more questions, we pretty much covered it.
Yeah,
Jennifer,
thank you everyone for
anything
coming.
else? Thank you
Last
all.
call
We
for
appreciate
questions.
it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for attending, and please get in touch with the Financial Empowerment Center to help, so they can help you out.
Yeah. Thank you, Jennifer, for inviting us, and Sharon for your questions. Excellent. Thank you very much, and also Mina for that question. It really helped bring out a lot of the things we do, and we strive to help our Rochester community as much as we can within the limitations that our specific line of work brings to us. But we try to be a difference. That's what we were trying to do.
All right. Thanks, guys. Everyone have a great weekend, and take care.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.